Stolas is a hypocrite and way too victimized, especially in Full Moon. He knows how much Blitz needs the book, yet takes it from Blitz, with Blitz only thinking this meetup was only for sex. This is made very obvious that Blitz is confused by his actions. Full Moon is made so we feel bad for Stolas and hate Blitz for acting like this. After Stolas confessed, we forget that Blitz went through trauma and thinks how no one could ever love him after the fire where he hurt the people who he loved most, and that he's not good enough. Plus, Stolas doesn't give time for Blitz to think about his confession after treating him like a plaything for their whole agreement. Blitz only thought this meetup was for sex. He thinks that he was getting boring since Stolas was basically pulling away from him. And like he said,
"Can I get a fucking minute to think after everything you put me through, you?"
He doesn't give Blitzo time to think or explain how it's not a joke. He immediately gets up and leaves the room. I do get that Stolas was upset how Blitzo acted, but after having an agreement where it was Blitzo's livelihood for sex, it's obvious why he thought that it was about sex. Blitzo was Stolas' plaything even when he was a kid and sold off to be Stolas' friend, and now is in the agreement where he has to have sex to continue doing his job. And Stolas expected Blitz to just understand and not think this was a part of their sex agreement. It doesn't help how Stolas was making excuses for Blitz to not do their meetup, and Blitzo was actually excited and then gets this sprung on him. Full Moon makes us feel bad for Stolas and think that he's the victim and that Blitz is a horrible person, and many stopped liking Blitz after Full Moon.
First instinct is that it's always about sex.
BQs, it was always about sex. Stolas and Blitzo. After Ozzy's felt like you were embarrassed of him. He should have let Blitzo have time to understand instead of just leaving as soon as it didn't go as he liked. Blitzo, as we see on Session 2 Episode 10, does care and miss Stolas and is upset about how it ended up. If Stolas did actually let Blitzo understand that his feelings were genuine, then it could have went how Stolas wanted it to go. Stolas only wants things to go how he wants it to go, and if it doesn't he leaves, and that's a problem for him liking Blitz. Blitz, being the insecure person he is, needs time to understand how Stolas actually likes him, but he doesn't give him that. Again, like we see in Episode 10, after Blitzo has had time to think and sees how much he actually likes Stolas, is genuinely upset and wants Stolas. Stolas only needed to give Blitzo time, and Full Moon could have went differently. Again with the only about sex comment. Even if the meetups every Full Moon was about sex, Lululand also was very sexual. Blitzo was only trying to do his job, and you kept talking dirty to him, making him uncomfortable every time. Also in front of your 17-year-old daughter. Both when you phoned Blitzo to ask if he could be your bodyguard and was talking with sexual talk, and at Lululand, making your own daughter scared that you would leave her to run away with Blitzo, who you said to Stella how you went through all her torment and abuse for Octavia, but completely forget about her after seeing stars. Stolas is a hypocrite. When Blitzo is talking sexual to Stolas in apology to her, he says how it's making him uncomfortable but did that himself to Blitzo. Stolas also says this.
Just like that vile striker friend of yours, the one who tried to kill me and you couldn't be bothered to come help me.
Stolas is acting as if he didn't do the same to Blitzo in Murder Family Session 1 Episode 1, where he knew Blitzo was nearly killed, but stayed on the phone when Blitz was clearly being shot at. And he didn't come help him either. I know that he came to help in Truth Seekers, but immediately expected a reward for helping Blitz. When Blitz saved his life in Harvest Moon Festival and didn't expect anything from Stolas to the point he didn't even know. Not to mention this whole agreement was made when Blitz was getting shot at. So Blitz was to focus on surviving, not on what Stolas was saying. Stolas also talks about how it's not a imp's place to protect a Goisha BQs. It's not. It's not normal for you to rely on an imp when you are a prince and have very powerful powers. You shouldn't be mad at Blitz for not protecting Stolas or telling him when Blitz didn't know he could be hurt, and Stolas is fully capable of protecting himself like we see in Lululand Season 1 Episode 2. Also, Lululand was supposed to be a trip for just Stolas, Octavia, and P was only supposed to be bodyguards, but Stolas still somehow made it more about Blitzo than Octavia, his own daughter. And it shows that it affects her due to the end of Lululand, and the whole of Seeing Stars is just about Stolas' neglect of Octavia. Due to if it's BQ, Stolas has more attention to Blitzo is arguing with Stella, or he has just forgotten about her. He can be a good dad, but there's more of her being forgotten than of him being a good dad. Like what we heard in the Season 2 trailer of her saying that Stolas doesn't care about her or mother, only Blitzo. And it's true, he doesn't show that he cares about her that often. He shows more attention to Blitzo than his own daughter. He says that he only stayed with Stella because of Octavia, but probably made her life worse, both ignoring her and sleeping with Blitzo, making Stella and Stolas argue most days and put Stolas' attention on arguing with Stella or just his attention being on Blitzo even when it's supposed to be on Octavia. Stolas saying that Blitzo didn't even care to help Stolas when he was hurt by Stryker was actually Blitzo being a better father than himself, since instead of putting Stolas first, he actually took his daughter to the hospital like he said he was going to take care of Luna and letting the M&Ms take care of Stryker. Again, when Octavia said about Stolas not caring about her or Stella in the trailer, I wouldn't be surprised if she left Stolas for how he neglected her. Even if he's a good father sometimes, you can see the difference from when she was a kid and his attention was only on her, and when he met Blitz again it completely changed. In the start of Seeing Starts, we see Stolas explaining something to Octavia when she was a child, and how Stolas and Octavia would see it since it only happens once a star explodes. Octavia was extremely excited about this, since she's been waiting since she was a child, but Stolas forgot and didn't even let her speak since he was too busy arguing with Stella then to listen to her. Stolas didn't let Octavia speak even though she had something important to say. They missed it because he was too busy arguing with Stella. I know that Stella is abusive, but like Stolas said, that he put up with her for Octavia to have a normal childhood. But all that went out the window when he started the deal with Blitz. As much as he's pictured to be one of the best dads in Hellva and has been, I don't really agree. He is a better father than Cash, Crimson, and his own father. But Blitz is a much better father than Stolas to Luna. He genuinely is scared for her in the episode when she's in LA, but that's a cause of his actions to her at the start of the episode. She was so mad that Stolas forgot about something he promised to her, and she's been waiting for since she was a child, that she trashed her room and went to IMP to get the book, and tried to go herself, but instead got stranded in LA. I feel so bad for her. She can't get a break from Stolas. But back to Stolas. Stolas and Blitz could work if they both confronted their own issues, like Blitz and his trauma and Stolas' hypocrisy. I'm not saying that the whole full moon and apology tour was only Stolas' fault because Blitz is also at fault, but it's mainly Stolas' handling of the situation that caused it to go wrong. I'm excited to see how their relationship develops and if they do eventually get together, but we all know that they will. I may do more vids like this since Has-Been and Hellva are my fave shows, and I like to dissect them, so comment if you would like to see more of these kinds of videos. Anyway, that's all. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe if you want to.